backs and to give each other the benefit of the doubt and not and show the kind of solidarity that people have said we are not capable of. You know, this whole this mentality they say we have. Let's prove them wrong. Let's go out there, Councilman Atkins. Let's show that together we've got the votes with us to move an agenda forward and never give up fighting for our community. And with that, I'll answer any questions anybody has. But I thank you for the opportunity.
He's saying the question. I try to get a question. So what's the question? I got one.
I'm happy to answer.
Everybody got a question?
Well, I got to go back out and knock on some more doors. There's some people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
you said that you're from West Dallas.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you become mayor, you're going to be the mayor for the entire city of Dallas,
yes,
not just West Dallas.
Okay. So
make that plain, because I don't live over there,
right,
but I have relatives that.
I want to make sure people understand this loud and clear. I think the reason why we're going to do well on June 8th is because I have a connection to a couple parts of our city because of my life story. You know, a child doesn't have any say-so over anything. That's what it means to be a child. Your parents have say. So where I lived was my parents' decision, right? We lived in West Dallas. And then I got an opportunity to go to school in North Dallas on a scholarship through the Boys and Girls Club to Green Hill. That was my parents' decision as well. But that gave me some exposure to North Dallas, right? And then we moved, after we left West Dallas, in 8th grade I left West Dallas, we moved to Oak Cliff, over there by Keys Park, and stayed there until they moved. Now, my parents still live in Oak Cliff, but they're over there by Mountain View College, over on Illinois, and Duncanville Road, over there by Mountain View. So we have been in Oak Cliff forever. The point is I have a connection to a lot of different parts of this city, but I'm going to be the mayor for the whole city, for sure. For sure. But I think it's important to tell people where I came from, what my story is, because it means I understand what's going on with this gentrification thing firsthand. I remember when nobody cared about West Dallas and nobody wanted to be over there. They let it flood every weekend when it rained, and they put every undesirable use. If you want to do a concrete plant, put it there. You want to do a lead smelter, put it there. You want to poison with asbestos or dump, put it there. And now people want to be in West Dallas, and now people are getting pushed out. So I think it's important that people know I come from over there, so they know I'm going to protect that community. But I grew up, like I said, in Oak Cliff, and I went to school in North Dallas. So I have an appeal to, I think, a lot of people in a lot of different places, because I can relate to a lot of different people. I think it's a good thing. And I think people need to know something else. They need to know that a black person can represent all of Dallas, and that although black people helped elect me, you didn't elect me to be the mayor of Black Dallas. Black people elected me to be the mayor of all of Dallas. And I think people need to hear that loud, because they need to understand that. They need to so don't let them try to pigeonhole our deal into, hey, he's the black mayor of Black Dallas, and he's not our mayor. No, we'll be everybody's mayor if we win. So yes, ma'am.
So you addressed some real good concerns, but one of my concerns mainly is about homeless and affordable housing.
Yes.
And those are two things that we really do need to put a cap on.
Right, no, I agree with that, and I think the affordable housing issue is one that we got to we have a comprehensive housing plan that, but contrary to what you'll hear in these debates, my opponent will tell everybody that he did the plan, he did it by himself, he was the chair of the housing, and he did it all. You ready for? You want a fact check? You ready for the facts?
Yeah.
Tanel Atkins was the chair of the housing committee. That's the fact check. That's the reality. Yeah. Councilman Atkins was actually the chair when we passed this plan. My opponent couldn't get a plan done in the time he had the chair, because he's not effective at moving an agenda forward. He's very good about saying what's wrong with stuff. He's good at going, hey man, that hamburger's not too well done. You overcooked that one. But he can't cook himself. But he's gonna tell you how you overcooked the burger and how you didn't, the beans ain't seasoned good enough. He's a critic, but he's not a leader. He's taking credit for things that he didn't even do. He's taking credit, frankly, from what you did. So the reality is we will that plan addresses this affordable housing issue, but we have to do it. A plan, and tell them, Councilman, we got plans sitting all over the building. Plans are all over the building that have never been acted on, that we're gonna act on this one.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Understanding. Recently, the city, the council passed. I'm not going to call it the bill because I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, an ordinance?
But, to put money into the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And my understanding that in going forth with the Trinity Bottom. The bottom is an area where businesses are looking at.
Right.
And there
I
are quite
represent
a
the bottom
few,
now.
there are quite a few people who live in the bottom.
Yep. I represent them all right now. That's in my district now.
And they're going to be displaced if
We don't have leadership to
if
make
we
sure that
don't
doesn't.
have something to protect them. So what's your opinion on the money that council has allocated for the bottom?
Here's what I think about the bottom. It's the same situation I think about 10th Street, the historic district. Same thing I think about West Dallas over there by Trinity Groves. It's the same thing I think about South Dallas Fair Park. These are all areas where there's becoming more interest in commercial development. And I think Councilor Atkins would agree. Tiffany, if she still would agree, she's been around. She would agree. Yeah, she would agree that we don't want to be the people who say, hey, we don't want to see any improvements in our community. We don't want to see any investment in our community. We want to see it. We just want to be part of it. We want to be around and enjoy it when you're finished. That's been the message that's been missing for so long in the development communities, that we are not anti-development. We're just anti-displacement.
Yes.
There's a difference between saying we don't want to see you do nothing in the bottom, leave it alone, leave it the way it is. No, we don't want you to leave it alone, leave it the way it is. I represent the bottom now. It needs infrastructure investments. It needs flood control investment. It needs better streets. The roads down there are in bad shape. It needs more investment. It needs help, but it doesn't need to be helped and improved so that somebody else can come in and enjoy it and these people get pushed out. And that's what we have to work on. We have to make sure that when we do these new developments, there needs to be a certain number of units in these developments set aside for affordable housing. People need to have to offset what they are doing in terms of driving up people's property taxes, which the way you end up getting displacement in most of these cases is actually not the old way. It's not so much anymore eminent domain, this government taking somebody's house. They don't do that a whole lot at City Hall anymore. What you see a lot more now is just the natural displacement that comes from when somebody's property taxes go up too high. They just say, I'm ready to sell. I got to get out. I can't keep up with this. And so we need to freeze people's taxes and when they're in these vulnerable areas. I've been very supportive, and I've actually tried to file legislation in Austin that would freeze a person's property taxes if they have been a long-time resident of an area like the bottom and development comes in and starts raising their value, keep their taxes the way they used to be so they don't get forced out. But that's the kind of stuff we have to do. But we want the development. We just want to make sure it's responsible development and that nobody is being displaced as a result of it.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say, I'm proud of you.
Ma'am, thank you.
And I want everybody in this room to know, if they've been watching City Council on Wednesdays, they'll know who to vote for.
That's right.
This other guy that's running against you don't want nothing out here. Tanel Caraway has fought the fight. Every time they put up something, he tears it down. At least he tried. So I'm gonna do all I can for my little nook over there. And I'll tell you something else I need. I need a great big sign like
You got it.
today.
You got it today.
See, when
We'll
people
put it up
pass
today.
by my house, they see Tanel Atkins, Tanel Atkins, Tanel Atkins, because they know I am an honest person. And I do believe it's time for a change. As long as you right, you don't have nothing to worry about.
Amen.
So, Mr. Greg, he's not real. He is not real. And like you say, he's a liar. He's a thief. He try to cut everybody that he can. When it come down to putting money out in the southern section, he didn't want that. But Tanel fought for it. And we got to stand behind you just like we stand behind Tanel.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You can trust.
That's right.
He knows.
I'll give you my address.
Oh yeah, I need it. We'll get that sign up today, ma'am. I promise.
I'm the same. I live
You want to sign
right by
too?
Miss Velma. Been a resident for District 8, 53 years, I'm proud to say. I'm in the house that I grew up in. And my mom talked about you when you ran for state representative.
Oh.
She did. And everybody, a lot of people in here know, I get really emotional because she
That's
just
all right,
passed.
baby. That's all right.
But same thing. I read your platform. I read everybody's platform. I've had people
I
call
love
me
that.
asking me, who should I vote for? You know, and I told them, I said, well, I can't tell you who to vote for, but I can tell you who I'm voting for, and I can tell you why. So I
love
have been
it.
out there and I have talked about your platform, what you want for the city of Dallas. Tanel knows me. I worked on every campaign Tanel has ever had and all. So I'm behind you 100%. I'm just sad that nobody has called me to bring me a sign
We'll take care of that
for my
today.
yard. Because I'm going to go steal Tanel's.
There's something about signs. You brought something about signs.
I do that. Can I ask you a question if you don't mind? Okay, I need you to come here real quick, Councilman.
Okay.
Now, are you a member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority?
Oh, hold on. Let me
Okay.
stand up. Let me stand up.
All right,
Yes, sir.
So I have
a
one.
proud member.
Okay, great.
Proud member.
Well, then I have one question for you.
What's that?
Kappa man, Alpha man, make a choice. Which one? Who's better? Kappa man, Alpha man.
Omega man.
I have to tell you,
Parts
I'm gonna have to fall for the alpha. I'm gonna have to fall for the alpha.
I was just messing with you, man. Hey, you won again, man. House rule. Man, Kappa's don't stand a chance around here.
That's right.
I will try you later, a couple months later.
But he's number one. He's the mayor.
That's right.
He our next mayor. That's number one.
That's what I said.
That's
I would
key.
love, like I said, I haven't gotten anything from you, but if you
We'll get you
would
one.
give me
I
a
promise
sign,
you, we'll get you one. We're actually, believe it or not, we're kind of behind on them because the first day we sent out a call asking people who wanted one. We got 200 requests the first day, so we're getting hundreds of requests a day. So we're just kind of behind. We're actually delivering them ourselves. We're not even making you come get it. We show up and we'll bring it to you and put it in, large or small. So it's taking a while to get to all these folks, but I apologize for
Oh,
that.
no, it's fine.
He had a question right
Yes, ma'am.
I
Kappa or Alpha? I'm just
I was Zeta Phi Beta and a Phi Theta Kappa.
Oh, look at him.
One of my concerns, and I just went through it last weekend when I was driving. It was raining.
Yes, ma'am.
And as soon as I left Ledbetter and Westmoreland, it was a big old puddle of water.
Yep.
And I counted 8 from Ledbetter and Westmoreland all the way to South Dallas to Elsie Faye Higgins at the 3rd Avenue Baptist Church. I counted 8 puddles that I had to just slow
So
down.
go down because you didn't
Some
want
of them we had to
right
go
into
over on the opposite side of the street, drive up over the curb to get around. I had never seen rain like that in Dallas, but I was gone for 35 years. Is it something that we can do as a community, like get the young kids at all the various high schools or junior high schools, and maybe one day we go out there and try cleaning out those sewers? Because I think the water is backing up from the sewers. It's not going through.
What do you think about
LA,
Well,
they
you know,
had trash.
the key is that what y'all don't realize, we changed 311. You got to report 311 to get a survey request and get that number. The key is, if you don't do that, then it's not a survey request. You can't do it. But the more you report it, the more it get done. But you got to be very smart and intelligent. If you're on one street and you see 5 potholes, report each one individual. Because you just report one and they won't fix the other 4, they're going to fix that one there. So you got to do that app and you got to
Do you
understand how
have the app
to
on
do
your
it.
phone? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll have to show. I'll walk you through and show you how to do it. It's
Right.
really good. I've used it many times. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And tell them you're a Trojan too.
And I'm a mighty Trojan.
There you go.
I'm not the mayor yet. Let's don't jinx it. Yes, sir, Mr. Koo, Dr. Koo.
You wonder why we two Orientals here, but I just want to tell you, we are supporters of Tanel for many years.
18 years.
We went to Taiwan twice, went to China one time, Our Chinese community, we definitely support you. And we hope someday you can come to our
I will.
Chinese New Year's.
Oh, it won't be long. We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Just for the next 2 weeks. The time is so limited to what we can do because we have to go and knock on these doors. We have to make sure we don't leave any voter uncontacted. We're trying to make sure everybody comes back out. So, but I'll be there. I'll come.
Let Tanel June the 22nd.
Yes, I got
Lunch.
you.
I know. I have a lot of good friends in the Taiwanese community. I've been to Taiwan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Representative Button's a good friend of mine too. She's the chair of our legislative delegation.
Yeah, you're
So
part of it.
yeah.
Do you have a question?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Hey.
Actually, my name is Beverly Hall, and I am the president of the Unity of States Homeowners Association. I have a 22-year-old, and when he goes to vote, the first thing he asks me, "Mom, why am I voting for this person?"
Right.
I think you answered my question today.
Thank you.
So I can
Thank you.
actually go tell him, go read your bio, and then we'll go from there. But he is actually a registered
Good.
voter, and he actually goes to the polls.
Tell him the main thing is he's voting for a team. He's not just say it's gonna say Eric Johnson up there because my man here ain't on the ballot no more. He did his job in the first round. I couldn't take care of my business in the first round like I should have. I got in the runoff, so I apologize for letting you down. But it says Eric Johnson, but what it should say up there is Eric and Councilman Atkins and Tiffany and everybody else who's part of the team that's gonna get all this stuff done. Because it really is it's a collective that we got to move forward. So tell him he's voting for unity. He's voting for people who are going to work together and be civilized in terms of how they treat each other. We're going to be respectful. We're going to glorify God in everything we do. I'll just say it that way. That's all. I'll say it that way. Yes, ma'am.
I have another question.
Another question is fine.
I have lots of questions.
You're limited to one.
Will you make a pledge? Would you make a pledge that you will come out into the community and talk to the people once the election is over,
Yes.
and we pray that you become the mayor?
Yes.
Would you come out into the community and talk to the citizens?
Yes.
There's not a general contact with the mayor and the citizens, and I think the citizens need you to talk to
I'm
them.
gonna put my right hand up right now. I'm gonna make a pledge to you this. I'm gonna come talk to the community so much that y'all gonna say, does he do anything else besides come out here and talk to us?
Sounds good. Sounds
okay,
good.
I promise you, I will be out here more than you probably want me to. Promise. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm coming.
Thank you.
And I'm talking about and I want to be clear about what I'm talking about. I've thought about this a lot. I'm not talking about the banquets and stuff where people got to pay $50 or buy a table and get dressed up and go and say and then me say because I was there that I was out in the community. No, I'm talking about actually in the middle of the day or in the evening coming to the actual community and talking to the people who live there in their homes or where they want to hang out. So if there's a spot in your neighborhood, or if it's Glendale Park or wherever it is, in whatever part of town you are in, wherever your community gathering spot is, I'm coming to your spot to answer your questions and to be accessible to you. I'm not counting. I'm just gonna be very honest and blunt about this. I don't count going to the United Negro College Fund banquet where people got to pay $500 and put on tuxedos go as having reached out to the community. That doesn't count to me. I'm talking about actually getting in your car or whatever. I don't know if the mayor is allowed to drive his car anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so get in your car and go to the same places I grew up going to and hanging out at. Going to the recreation centers, going to the community centers, going to the senior citizen homes, going to individual homes and talking to individual voters when there's no election going on, when there's no votes to be gained, just because that's what you're supposed to do to get a pulse of where people are and what they want. I promise you I will do it. Great.
Thank you.
We're going to answer all these questions.
I just want to say something to everybody since we're all together. We need to, as a community and with your help and Terrell's help, find something that we need men to mentor our black boys.
Yes, we do.
Because they are just drifting away and we need this very badly. We also need something where the children can see where they can go with their education. Our children are walking the streets in the daytime. In my area, there were children 10:30, 11 o'clock going to a vacant house, doing drugs and making babies probably. But that needs to be stopped. They need to have a vision. If they don't have a vision of where they can go, they not going anywhere.
That's right.
So we need to work together to get some men to mentor boys, some programs to give those boys hope. And we need a better guard or whatever it is at the school so we know that our children, somebody's not doing their job.
Right.
Because these children coming in droves. You'll see them walking the street 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and they should be in school. So they are our future. So we need to help them to be somebody and to strive to be where you all are.
I couldn't agree with that more. They got a great role model right here, but here's what I think we need to do. You and I need to lead the charge on that. Get Casey involved and make sure that we actually put something in place, something kind of formal. I mean, I'm not talking informal, but we make sure we get that out there.
We're doing a whole lot of stuff right now, which you probably know about. We just had 2 votes right across the street from Friendship West. There's 15 acres of land, parkland. We've installed that into a complete camp for football, soccer. Over there on Bonneville and Simpson Stewart, the Texas Foundation, Trust Foundation, they bought 18 acres of land for complex for kids to play football, track, mentor, stuff like that. So we don't put about 35 acres of land just for kids to do. We're building a new rec center. We're doing our mentor. We're doing it right now, but we also need to partner up with DISD.
Yeah.
We got to partner with them to make sure we got something to do. I got 5 rec centers in my district, but we're not partnering up with the youth because it costs money for them to go to the rec center, and they can't afford to pay for the money for the rec center. So we gotta waive those fees. We gotta waive those fees because we got a whole lot of stuff to do. We gotta do that. So those things that we can do, those policies that we do, we just gotta make those policies for the youth.
And there's something else I want to say about that too, and I hope you agree with this because I really need to work with you on something like this. And in Casey too, like I said, I want to see more black men going into education to come back and teach our kids because I think we have data now that studies that show that black children who are taught by a black teacher actually do better, and it has something to do with the psychologically seeing a black male in that authority role as a teacher inspires them to continue on with their education because they can see themselves in their teacher. They actually perform better. They get better grades and they stay in school longer if you've had studies show that if you've had even one black male teacher in your academic career, you do better than an African American child that didn't have any. Right. So we need more African American males, especially going to teaching. And then the other area we need them to go into more is in the first responders,
Right.
Police and fire. Because so much of this police community relations stuff would get solved if we had more officers who came from Oak Cliff and West Dallas and South Dallas and Pleasant Grove from our community. If you grew up in the neighborhood and you loved it and you care about it, you're going to police it differently than if you just showed up from nowhere and you view all these people as kind of a potential threat. So I think that's something we need to really think about too, is how to get more of our kids to go into that. But I know I got a good partner here for all of that. So, yes, sir.
Real quick,
Mr. Curtis,
Grow South something that you're gonna Grow South?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it is because Grow South had a lot to do with my transportation service that I started with a raggedy old van. And Tanell Atkins, my van broke down. He came and paid for me to get it fixed. And today we've got new vans and everything because of Grow South, because of Tanell Atkins. And my thing is with our transportation service, we want to be a part of it. If people need rides to the pole, let's not let getting to the polls, transportation be an issue. Let's make that happen. So my company will provide all the transportation for any of the campaigns for it.
Thank you. I appreciate we'll take you up on that offer for sure.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
But I do have I would like to invite you to my church, Inspiring Body of Christ, IBOC.
I'll be at IBOC in 2 weeks.
Oh, will you? But Ricky Rush would love to.
2 weeks.
And the congregation would love to hear you.
Haven't seen him in a
Rollins is
while.
always there. We need a new face.
Well, I'll come by, and I think in 2 weeks I'm going to go by and visit. It's been a while since I've been to visit, so
Okay.
I will.
They would love to hear your speech.
Yeah, no, he's the director of Unlimited Choir Skyline when I was yeah, he is from West Dallas. So my family actually, our families know each other pretty well, Reverend Rush and I, so, but I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Okay.
This is probably out of your jurisdiction, but it concerns me. I'm 78 years old, and I can't get decent rates for automobile insurance. And when I inquired why, my church, I go to Friendship West, it's 10 minutes from my house. I go to the store up on Camp Wisdom, it's another 10 minutes. And I doubt if I put 1,000 miles on my car a year.
Wow.
And I'm with Liberty Mutual, and they said because our area has bad responses and a lot of accidents, it seems like that we shouldn't have to pay for that. You know, I don't have anything.
In my remaining days as a state legislator, if I'm able to come there, that's something we have to. It's insurance is regulated at the state level. It's not the city can't really do anything about discriminatory sort of practices in the insurance industry. That's something we have to deal with through the State Department of Insurance and the insurance committees in the House and in the Senate. So I actually carried some bills early on in my career trying to deal with something. I mean, this is a hard area. They like charging those higher rates and discriminating against communities like ours, frankly. So it's something I have to talk to you kind of on the side about. It's a legislative issue, not a city issue.
We need to have it in school because we get cheated because we don't know what they're doing.
There's
We
there's
really
no
need to have
question
that
that
in
we
school.
are discriminated against in terms of the rates we pay for insurance of all types, frankly, every type. It's just we pay a premium for actually just who we are and where we live. And this is the thing I've actually tried to legislate about. It makes no sense to me that anything would factor into how much it costs to insure you to drive your vehicle, other than your driving record. How well you drive should be what determines that, not anything else. But that's not the way they see it. It's a problem. So we'll have to talk. I'll tell you about what can be done. I think it's legislative. Senator West and people like that are going to have to help us. All right, y'all. Well, I think I appreciate that, everybody. I'm available to answer questions, as soon as I get this election behind us. We got to win this thing on June 8th first. So I'll see y'all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I want everybody to know that the city of Dallas can achieve great things. It already has achieved a lot, but we can achieve a lot more if we work together. And this is the team right here that's going to get it done. We're going to work together and move the city forward. And by that, I mean we are going to treat each other with respect. We're going to work hard. We're going to work intelligently on behalf of the whole city. We're not going to think about it in terms of north versus south and east versus west, white versus black. We're thinking about it in terms of everybody you see here loves Dallas, and we're going to move the whole city forward together. We all have a role to play, and we're going to play it. That's the message.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.